Well, hey everybody, it's the 29th day of August, Friday, instead of Thursday. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. Well, I went out before I was going to do this yesterday, and I was harvesting some medicinal plants, and I was out there too long, and the smoke from the flat fire is still it was hanging in the air, so I'm still affected by it today, and it gave me the worst headache yesterday. So I thought I'm in no shape to do the reading. I was thinking about doing it in the afternoon, but I still wasn't feeling very well. So anyway, we'll see how it goes this morning. If I can actually get through it, or if my voice is just going to be too hoarse to do it. Anyway, let's get started with I Was. Now, I Was is the 13th rune of the Elder Futhark. It's essentially Laguz, just up and down. It's not even forward and reverse. You can turn it that way, and it's just sort of like a mirror image in a way, but not in terms of reversed. What I find interesting about I Was, it's about protection. It's an as above, so below rune, connection between opposites. But it's also letting higher awareness flow into physical reality. If you were to take and to spin this, you'd have a vortex. And so if you think in terms of the soul vortexing into and creating the body, essentially, for it to live in for a while, it's almost like I Was gives that same feeling, at least to me. So I think to start out here on the above side or higher awareness side, I Was is probably talking about that, the idea of infusing everything with soul energy and being aware of that, not letting ego get away from you. a lot of ego that's impacting everybody from outside forces right now, and so it's just one of those things that we have to make an effort to really put that in there, to try to counteract it. Let's see, we've got Kata Draconis, so the opposite of Caput. Caput would be in the north node of the moon. Kata would be the south node, whereas Caput is on the threshold of something new happening. Kata is about the endings, and it's the tail of the dragon versus the head of the dragon. And so you're looking at past life experience. You're looking at just past experience in the current life, and the impact of that on your life and the decisions you make. And so again, if past is prologue, then we understand that the only real way to counteract the negativity now on the planet, on this earth, and around, and heavier amounts of that in places, is to infuse soul energy into that and make that vibration raise so prominently that you have a profound effect on it. Getting into the muck of the ego, it doesn't get into it with people that clearly are stuck somewhere in the negative side of things. Some would say negative timeline. I don't know how I feel about the timeline business, but if you want to look at it that way, stuck in the negative timeline, you want to stay on the positive. And even though they say it takes less positive, less raising of the vibration to create a tipping point, we need to put in as much as possible to try to end the drama that's happening right now and the harm that's happening to people that are innocent. And so I view I Was as a very I just feel like it's a very strong rune that can help us if we start visualizing that vortex of energy infusing everything that we think and do and say and believe and all of that. Then you can't help but raise the vibration, right? So, but let's see what the cards have to say and see if there's a little more direct or general, either way, view of what this could be talking about. Well, for the first time in a little while, we've not had a. We've been having every single reading um, since August 7th has had at least one or two major arcana cards. That's not true for today. We have one from, we have a run on Pentacles, and so issues of material security and just material life. We have that here. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. And then we also have the six. So we have two sixes surrounding the Knight and six of swords here. So let's go ahead and do the numerology here. So 13 for I was, plus 6. The Knight doesn't have one, plus 6. That's 25, so 7. So there's a different balance going on, and that was the same for true. That was the same was true on Monday, because we had a Laguz, which is flowing in spirit, and then type of balance there. Albus is just the sage and the wise person. The Lovers is a type of balance, and then we had the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So 7 and 7, that's all balance. And so we're going to continue that a little bit today, both with the bookends of sixes. And then the fact that well, there's an imbalance here with both of the sixes, and I'll tell you about that. Let me do this one more time. 13. Let me clear that. 13 plus 12 is 25. So yeah, so we've got a 7 as an overall numerology. Observation, balance, magic, spirituality, justice, legal things can be the 7. But let's go ahead and let's start with the 6. The 6 of Swords. Here we have a scene here in the winter. It's on the water. We have what looks likely a woman and a child here, and this is either somebody who's ferrying them across the water, or this is maybe the spouse. So this could be a small family. You see 6 swords here in the pointing downward, so dealing with instead of matters of spirit, matters of form, essentially. You see the difference in height between the person ferrying them and the two people in the boat, and that's the same theme you see here, difference in height here. Same in the 6 of Wands, same in the 6 of Cups. 6 is about unequalness in a way, but maybe with an eye toward rebalancing that unequalness, because we're seeing a lot of that right now in society and in the world itself, where there seems to be power versus powerlessness, and yet at the same time, those that are powerless find that strength within to exert their own power, right? So is it really, where does the true power actually lie, you could say? But here you have a journey over water. They're taking with them, they've made some decisions about their future. The 6 or the swords is the air element, and so you're talking about intellect, communication, legal matters, balance, truth versus deception. And so they've just made this decision, irrespective of the challenges here, to move on to something else, to go in a different direction. Swords can also mean direction. The arrow flies, right? So basically, I think that there could be a change in circumstances here. Also a change in circumstances here. In fact, we could have probably started with the 6 of Pentacles. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch those. And here we have a card I do not like. I've said this every single time I draw it. If you've been here before and been here when I've drawn the 6 of Pentacles, you know what I'm talking about. We have a very imbalanced situation here. You have 2 people on the ground. It's almost like they're poor, they're in poverty. The man of means is putting coins in this guy's hands, but not this one. So you see more going here than is going here. That could be one way to look at that. He's got the scales behind his back, behind where he can see, sort of saying, well, I'm doing things in a balanced way. You know, I'm giving of what I have to these people. But what he's not doing is he's not elevating them. He's not elevating them out of the poverty they're in, whether he has a job for them or not. He may know someone who might. And so he's not really doing anything there. You know, you can look at the 6 as assistants, but in a very imbalanced way here. So things are not really working out in this scenario here. And then you go to the Knight of Pentacles here. Here, I love this horse. It just seems so strong and so steadfast. And of course, with Pentacles, that's the earth element. And you're really talking about that. He is strong. The Knight is very steadfast, holding a coin out and offering, essentially. It's almost like he's sitting up on a higher area, looking at the town below or the village below, and almost in protection of that. So he's there to serve the people, essentially. He's trustworthy. He's wise. He's dependable. He's practical and realistic. And so, you know, he's maybe there to offer guidance about something to do with the physical and mundane aspects of life, maybe helping people to raise up their ability to take care of themselves in a way that this guy is not going to do. And so there could be something that's happened here where you're going to see an end to something here, say with Kata Draconis, if you're looking at endings there with that particular rune. And now you've got the Knight that's come in to help, essentially, to put an end to whatever inequality and inequity that's happening here in your personal life, and maybe making the suggestion that you move on to something better here, to take with you what you know, all your skill set. That would be another thing here that sort of merges with Pentacles and between air and earth here, where you've gone and you've gotten your education, or you've increased your skill set somehow in an apprenticeship maybe, or again college, or whatever it is, or just some work experience where maybe there's been some on-the-job training that you've had. And you're ready, but you sense the inequity of things here, maybe in your job, and now you're ready to take what you know, irrespective of the challenges, and move on to something else. You know, 6 is about empathy, it's about guidance, it's assistance, it's harmony. And so it's possible that someone has come into your life who has a little more who maybe is somebody that can give you some advice, who's got a little more skills, got a little more awareness than you have, more life experience, to help you move in a better direction, to see the inequity of this one, and take what you know and move on. No matter what the challenges are. And so maybe you're relocating to someplace else. Maybe you've applied for another job, you've gotten it, and you have to move now and take the family and the whole thing, right? And again, you're staying out of the sorrow and the depression that something like this might create, where you see somebody else getting more than you're getting, and neither one of you are getting anything that really matters. And so, you know, maybe you're in a situation at work where you feel like you're kind of being played, or you feel like there's just no future there. And no matter what the boss says, you know, no matter what the owner of the business says, there's just really no future there. And you see the fact that the boss gets richer and richer and nobody else gets any raises, right? It could be a situation like that. And so the idea then behind I was then the protection aspect of it, drawing higher awareness into physical reality. You sense that there's no future here. And so either you go and you get some education and training. Generally speaking, you would think about this if it was the Page of Pentacles, but the Knight is the next step in that, and you're ready to move on. You have what you need, or it's somebody that's entered your life maybe unexpectedly, that can give you some guidance and counsel as to how to get out of the situation that you're in, what it takes to do that, because the knight again is the next step in the court, where you've got the page as the student, and then the knight as the one that takes all of that and then goes off on his quest, or out in protection of the community or the king or the kingdom or whatever. But again, it could be that maybe it's somebody who has knows of a position and says, you need to apply for this, you would be great for that. And again, it may be something where, you know, it's a new direction, and you have the ability to do it because you've gone and you've learned what you've needed to learn. Again, that's going to also be air element with swords. The training that you get could be air element. It could also be earth element. And so I kind of see these two cards together and integral to the decision that gets made to move on in a different direction. So again, I think that with Cauda Draconis here, you're looking at the ending of something, and also where some past life experience can inform possibly this that's happening here, and to make you understand that I've gone as far as I can go. I'm never going to get up off the ground if I'm dependent upon the boss to make that happen. I have to make that happen for myself. The knight comes in and gives you some good advice, or you've made some decisions on your own, and you're scouting and looking and trying to find something else. It could go either way with that one. But then you make the decision that, yeah, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to take what I know and I've learned, and no matter what the challenges are, I'm going to move on, instead of, because here you've got clear water, over here it's snowy, you know, but here you've got an opening, and so you're going to take it, essentially, or at least consider taking it. So I think that it's kind of an easy reading today. Again, you know, there's some drama here, and almost an effort to keep these two guys in their place. And where that might benefit the boss or the business itself, it's not benefiting either one of them. And so the best thing is again, take advice from somebody who's there to help. Maybe unexpected, he just shows up in your life, and or you meet him through friends or whatever, and everybody's talking about what's going on in their lives and the work and all that, like everybody does, right? And maybe this guy says, well, you know, I know of some jobs that are available in the next town over, or whatever, or in the next state over, but a distance from where you live, where you're going to have to move, and maybe you ought to apply for that and see what happens. And so obviously something good can happen, and you can move in a different direction that maybe could get you out of the poverty that you're in here, or the poverty of the experience, whether it's money or not. But it could be something you're going on to that could give you a chance to move up in the company, where there's actually a future there, whereas here there's no future here. So anyhow, I think that's it. I think I did better today than I would have done on the reading yesterday. It was just, oh my goodness. Sometimes the Central Oregon is a very windy place until it isn't. And yesterday there just wasn't really any wind, and there wasn't really the day before either. And when it's in the 90s, it just hangs. And if there's smoke in the air, you can't breathe. It's awful. So I thought I could just get out there and get back in, and no, because then, you know, I see this, I want to harvest, and that I want to harvest, and, you know, there's a little plantain over there I want, or a little self-heal over there I want, or something like that, you know. But mostly it was nettle and lemon balm and anise hyssop, which, you know, is great for, anise hyssop is great for, in a tea for breathing. So of course I put some in, but it was too late at that point. Used my peppermint inhaler and peppermint essential oil. These are really cool to make, and they have this wick inside, and you just put some drops of you unscrew this, and you just drop some essential oil in there and close it back up. Peppermint's good, lavender's good, eucalyptus is good, or wait, wrong side. Rosemary's good to do little aromatherapy. But anyway, none of that worked. It was just, well, I mean, it did a little, but it didn't clear up the headaches. So anyway, and the nettle all over my hands, that wasn't good either. So anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good weekend, and think about this if this resonates, and who knows, maybe somebody this weekend you'll meet that can bring some additional opportunity your way, or ideas for opportunities your way, and maybe get you out of whatever, less than positive experience you're having here in the Six of Pentacles. So, and anyhow, the stuff's going to go out on the blog over at Stepping Aside in the midnight hour Sunday morning. The forecast for the week, the correspondences for work and magic, if you're so inclined. They'll be up. It's the same stuff on the regular type of correspondences, but then the top part is all the different astrological stuff that changes every day, or almost every day. Some of them stay the same for a little bit, but some don't. Where the moon is, the sun is. Whether it's favorable. The mansions of the moon. All of that kind of stuff is there, so that comes out on Sunday, so check that out if you will. The web address there is imsteppingaside.com. If you forget, click on more below the video, the word more. It'll open up a box. It'll be right up there at the top if you forget the web address. And if you have not yet clicked subscribe, I'd love you to do that. And come back again on Monday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.